bowling pin for the Sport Bowling Champions Challenge champion. Either Michelle Feldman or Kim Terrell will walk away with that crystal pin here at Fern Valley Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky. And Kathy, this looks like something we just saw a few weeks ago.
A rematch between Michelle and Kim. You know, if Michelle keeps winning in Louisville and their trophy is always a crystal bowling pin, she could probably set up her own lane.
Yeah, she'll have 10. Exactly. Michelle Feldman winning the last 3 times in Louisville, Kentucky. Top seed here, and Kim Terrell, runner-up at the Louisville Open. Not the way she wants to start.
No, but that looked like a good shot off her hand between the lanes. They've had some play on them. Could be changing. Really nice, smooth release. Just jumped there right at the end. That was a really good shot. Right up until the end, it just jumped. Unfortunately, big 4, but she'll take the 2 pins. And as we've seen with Kim, it will come down to needing those 2 pins.
As a rule, her matches come down to the 10th frame every time. Well, in the positioning game, she just made it in.
Just made it. Kim Adler bowled a great game. She actually bowled the best game out of everybody.
She did.
Missed the 10 pin in the 10th frame to not make it. Kim Brooklyn on a strike to have a double, then threw a good one. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Well, here's the best way not to miss the 10 pin.
Watch the way these pins go. I mean, she just blew them around, but light carries so much better sometimes for Kim.
Head pin off the wall and going high now. Michelle, 6'10".
Lane 14 could just be breaking down a little bit.
But again, we get into the factor of Michelle Feldman, Louisville, Kentucky. It doesn't phase her. Boy, that must be a comfortable feeling to have.
Oh, I'd give anything, Jan, to know what that feels like.
Just to go to a city and go,
oh, I know I'm going to make it.
I know I'll win.
No problem.
Oh.
No matter what. The roll on her ball is not only heavy, it's a pure roll. It's just so clean. It's really beautiful to watch for a young lady. She snaps through it there. You can see her clenched fist when she comes through it. And as though she clenches, her ball projection is always to the right, but her roll is always pure. It's really, really amazing to watch.
Well, she grew up trying to out-hook the boys, is how she put it to us. And
she did.
She did. Sent many of them home. Kim Terrell now trailing by 11 pins. Kim won that big WIBC Queens to start the season. That's how she qualified for this event. That right after winning the U.S. Open, the largest purse in women's bowling history, $55,000 on top.
Kim has a very basic, classic style. Pushes away on her first step, as you can see. Lets the ball drop. Look at her head, never moves. Beautiful right there. Everything in line. Perfect timing. Head never moved. Right foot swings over, never raises off the ground, which means she's always low to the line, which will create length in the front part of the lane for your ball, which means it'll conserve more energy on the back end, which most girls need, because we don't throw it like Michelle.
Right, exactly. You need as much hit as possible, and most of the women now have gone to lighter bowling equipment because there's bowling equipment so much stronger. They know they don't have the extra weight anymore either. They're throwing 15 pounds, most of them. No one throws 16 anymore, or very few.
Right. She comes up high on lane 13, leaving the 310. The baby split. This one never got right of target. Kind of went a little too direct down the lane, and there was no way it was going to stay on the right. It's a tougher condition out there.
Definitely not what we saw in this bowling center for the Louisville Open back in August. Now, Terrell is 0-3 career on television versus Feldman. So when they've both made it to the show and faced each other, Michelle Feldman has dominated. Feldman up by 13.
Well, and Kim's great. She's another fan of the plastic ball, right in between the 310. Perfect spare.
Michelle coming up light. Now, Kathy, most of the women are fans of the plastic ball, aren't they, for spares? Most of them?
Oh, I hope so. When I first came out on tour, I hooked at everything because I was young and didn't know any better. And you don't think you're going to be able to have a straight enough arm swing to throw at your spares with a plastic ball, because you have to remember, it's the only ball that goes where you throw it. Because of its cover, it's plastic. It's not going to grab the lane. I would say 99 out of 100 women throw a plastic ball at their spares. You'll be a 10 times better spare shooter because of it.
Well, we told you this kicked off a 10-week swing for PWBA, so join us next Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern as Michelle Feldman attempts to defend her Three Rivers Open title from Princess Lanes in Pittsburgh, PA. In 10 events at Princess Lanes, there's only been one repeat champion, and it was Carolyn Dorn-Ballard. Michelle Feldman will attempt to do that. Kathy, you also are a champion at Princess Lanes.
I love Pennsylvania. I make a good buck in Pennsylvania. I don't know what it is.
Kim Terrell now up in the 5th after just converting that 310 split. She trails now by 12 pins.
Once again, she didn't get it right. You have to get it right, but you have to get it right properly. Unfortunately, she looks a little tight because you can't just swing it right, because there is an out-of-bounds area where the oil is. But unfortunately, she'll have to get it right more than this. That never got to where it needed to be, and it grabs. Grabs on the back. It's going to go high every time.
She covers it up, and Kathy Kim's been doing a lot of work and still continues to do work with a coach and with a sports psychologist, and really works hard on the mental aspect as well as the physical. That's really turned her game around, and a lot of the women are beginning to do that, do a lot of work with the sports psychology end.
Like Dr. Dean Hinnett's excellent sports therapist. Kim really focuses on her mental. She feels that that is one of the biggest assets to her game as of right now. Really focusing on staying in the moment. Don't think ahead. Don't think of what's already been done. It's huge and so important, and it takes a lot of focus to stay in the moment. But boy, has she turned herself around because of it.
These women are in condition. They work hard just like other athletes. All aspects of sports. Covers up that spare, and we're midway through the championship match. Feldman is up by 15. We'll take care of some business and be right back to Name a Champion.